Alright, so LeBron James, who seems to think that he had some kind of special expertise to criticize Kyle Rittenhouse on violence, looks like LeBron James having his own problems with violence here. Let's take a look. Oh wow, it looks like LeBron James having some issues with violence. Why couldn't LeBron James settle things with words instead of causing harm to people he disagreed with? That's not right. I love to receive feedback on my YouTube channel. The highlighted comment here: you don't need an AR-15 loaded with armor-piercing bullets to be a medic. I know you can disagree with Kyle Rittenhouse's decision to legally arm himself with a legal AR-15 with legal bullets, but as long as that weapon and its bullets are legal, you can't complain about the law, because the law was firmly on the side of Kyle Rittenhouse. You may disagree with the jury, but the jury looked at the law and the evidence and ruled not guilty. Sorry. This is Pvt.Joker from the Full Metal Jacket movie by Stanley Kubrick, one of my favorite films. And Pvt.Joker, let's go take a look at the tweet sent by Matthew Modine here. Matthew Modine: is Kyle Rittenhouse wearing surgical gloves? Well, that's generally what you wear when you are walking around with a first aid kit, offering aid to anyone who comes by. If so, why? To cover his fingerprints. He's being filmed from multiple angles by every videographer attending the second or third night of the Kenosha arson and riots. What's he exactly going to cover? Why would he load a weapon with bullets? Well, Kyle Rittenhouse was found by the jury to have a legal right to carry the AR-15. He had a legal right to defend his own life with the AR-15. Democrats cannot invent a brand new definition of self-defense. I know Democrats think that an AR-15 is like a weapon on Star Trek and that you can set it to stun and just stun your assailants. But the important question is, did Kyle Rittenhouse go out to Kenosha to shoot people? So here we have Kyle Rittenhouse before being forced to defend himself by shooting 3 white males. The Democrat narrative prior to the trial was that Kyle Rittenhouse went to Kenosha to shoot unarmed, defenseless, peaceful African Americans. Kyle Rittenhouse was filmed from multiple angles, simply walking through Kenosha. He did not point his weapon at anybody. He did not threaten anybody. He did not argue with anybody. Here he went over and just talked to some African American gentlemen and calmly walked away, even after the man in yellow pants called him a fool. Everything that the Democratic Party said about Kyle Rittenhouse was a lie. Travel to an event, aim the rifle at people. Bear that in mind. Matthew Modine is claiming that Kyle Rittenhouse aimed his rifle at people. He was filmed from every angle possible, and he never aimed his rifle at anyone. I believe there was a part in the trial where Yellow Pants, man unidentified, claimed Kyle Rittenhouse pointed his rifle at him. Obviously that wasn't the case, and the reactions of the people there confirm this. Let's continue down the charges. So Matthew Modine has already stated something that did not happen. Pull the trigger of the rifle he loaded. So, as we can see, Kyle Rittenhouse did not go there to Kenosha to harm anyone. When people tried to murder him, he killed 2 of them and wounded 1. The one that he wounded survived to testify at the trial that he was approaching Kyle Rittenhouse with a loaded weapon pointed at Kyle Rittenhouse, and Kyle Rittenhouse fired in self-defense.
Gage Grosskreutz was the most anticipated witness of the trial so far. He's the man who confronted Kyle Rittenhouse after the first shooting, was shot in the arm, and survived. Now, the state claimed that Grosskreutz did not pose a threat to Rittenhouse when he confronted him in the street, that he even had his hands up at one point. But he did have a pistol in one of those hands, and the defense proved that got Grosskreutz to admit that Rittenhouse did not fire at him until he lowered his hands and pointed the gun. But on cross-examination, the defense went through the video again, at times second by second.
When you were standing 3 to 5 feet from him with your arms up in the air, he never fired, right?
Correct.
It wasn't until you pointed your gun at him, advanced on him, with your gun, now your hands down, pointed at him, that he fired, right?
Correct.
Unless he went there with intent to kill. The problem is, if Matthew Modine had watched any of the original footage, it would show a calm, polite young man who did not go there to harm anyone. If you attempt to kill him, he will defend himself. And there is no rule in American law that you have to lay down your rifle and start circling your fists in a classic boxing stance to defend yourself from violent people trying to kill you. One of the people that died, in fact, said he was going to kill Kyle Rittenhouse. What Matthew Modine should ask are some other questions. Why did 3 adult males deliberately attempt to attack and murder Kyle Rittenhouse for the image that he presented as a peacekeeper? Kyle Rittenhouse put out a church fire at a black church before the shootings occurred. Why is it that Matthew Modine believes the people who set fire to a black church are the innocent victims, the heroes, the peaceful protesters?
What brought you out here tonight? You just wanted to provide medical attention?
Provide medical attention to people that need it. If somebody's injured, like, you get hurt, I'm grabbing you.
Have you encountered any issues yet thus far with law enforcement or anything like that?
Yeah, we were earlier trying to come and set fire at the church. So we went to the church and we de-escalated the situation, telling them they need to leave or they will be detained and further arrested.
This church right over here?
That church right there. And we stopped the fire out all the way down at the school.
Wow.
Kyle Rittenhouse put out that fire at the black church. He didn't set fire to a black church. The people that Matthew Modine evidently views as heroes set fire to black-owned businesses and smashed endless amounts of black-owned property in Kenosha. Kyle Rittenhouse didn't attack a single African-American, didn't smash in or burn a single African-American owned car, didn't destroy a single African-American business, and did not burn any church. This is a interesting site called Hollywood in Toto, basically examining the excesses of Hollywood as they opine on things that are none of their business. MSNBC skips Kyle Rittenhouse defense's closing argument after airing prosecutor's case to jury. And I think many people skipped over this. But consider for a moment the culpability of MSNBC in creating an environment for more riots, more arson, more violence, and especially more racial discord, polarization of America, and racial hatred among the different groups of Americans by not airing the defense's closing argument of the Kyle Rittenhouse case. Why did MSNBC make a corporate decision to carry the prosecutor's case, but they did not carry Kyle Rittenhouse's defense's closing argument? MSNBC chose to willfully withhold the news, withheld the facts, in order to shape and sculpt a narrative to their desired outcome, which was to create a new riot. We don't know where Matthew Modine got his news. It's clear that Matthew Modine did not watch a single day, a single hour, or a single minute of the live jury coverage, which was broadcast to every American free of charge throughout the entire jury trial. But his attitude here is, since I don't have the facts, I'm going to give my opinion on the motives of Kyle Rittenhouse. Mr. Modine, your tweet is not helpful. It's not based on the facts, it's not based on reality, and it's clear that you didn't watch any of the trial at all. If you don't understand American law, then at least understand how your character, Pvt.Joker, walked around Vietnam. If we watch the movie again and watch your conduct walking around with a similar weapon in Vietnam, what did your character do when Pvt.Joker and his friend had a camera stolen from them by Viet Cong agents? Did he make any assumptions about the intentions of these people? Did he attempt to murder them when they made their escape? No. Pvt.Joker used restraint of force, just as Kyle Rittenhouse did when walking around a violent protest. And if someone's not trying to kill him, he's not raising his weapon or threatening to kill anyone. Just like Pvt.Joker did when the camera was stolen. So, real life is not the same as a movie. Full Metal Jacket stands as a great movie. And maybe Matthew Modine could watch it again and consider whether his post, which is completely free of facts, is in keeping with what Pvt.Joker did in his own movie. He might be surprised. Thank you.
You little scumbag! I got your name! I got your ass! You will not laugh! You will not cry! You will learn by the numbers! I will teach you! Now get up! Get on your feet!